and welcome to Just Chopsing podcast. And today we're with David and my cousin. He is my cousin, of course, and we're also with Seb from Them Bloody Kids. How's it going, Seb?
Hello.
Yeah, not bad, thank you. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. So I was reading a bit about you on your website, actually, and you are from Scarborough.
Yeah, little seaside town up north.
Yeah, well, I've my ultimate rock hero comes from Scarborough, Toby Jepson. He was in Little Angels.
Yeah.
You do know them, do you?
Yeah.
He lives around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Scarborough's not that big, is it? It's probably not as big.
Tiny, but you'd be surprised how many people we can cram in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice, quite quaint, but it's just very quiet. Not much goes down.
It's lush. We went up there on holiday to go and see my sister because she lives in Driffield.
Oh yeah.
So we popped up there and we actually stayed in Filey.
Yeah.
And Filey is beautiful. The beach here is stunning. And then obviously because I'm a Little Angels fan, we went around Scarborough and had a look at it's like a theatre, isn't it? Where they played in the theatre, and then after Little Angels played there, because all the fans ripped all the chairs out and everything, they wouldn't allow any bands in there ever again. So I was sort of like walking around the different areas and the sites where the band had filmed things and all this stuff and all, which was really cool.
I thought Scarborough was near London for some reason.
No,
It's on the coast. Is it by Cleethorpes and all that lot then?
Yeah, I think it's actually a little bit further north than that.
Okay.
Hull.
Hull. I was at Hull.
It's above Hull, yeah, underneath Newcastle and Middlesbrough, but above Hull.
Yeah. All right, cool. I see Darren is from Liverpool then, and then you've got a guy called Vane in the band.
Yeah, he's from Italy.
Oh, he's Italian, is he? I wouldn't know.
He's the exotic one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder where he was from, because there's like Seb's from Scarborough, Darren's from Liverpool, but Vane is like
He's just an entity, but he is Italian, yeah. But yeah, he's based here in London with us guys. So yeah, this is his home now, I guess.
Okay.
Right, okay, cool.
How long have you been based in London then?
I moved down about 4 years ago to come to uni, and then in that year I met Darren, and he was my boss, and then it sort of snowballed from there. And then we met Antonio Vane about 2 years ago now, nearly 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and he joined the band pretty much straight away as soon as I met him, because we were looking for a bassist at the time, and it just sort of clicked. He had the same vibe as we did, and he was just like a nice boy, so we thought, yeah, we'll get him in the band.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, he looks the part anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
So he loves dancing around with that bass in his hand, I guess.
Yeah.
So it says on your website that you're an alt rock groove metal trio.
Yeah, well, that's sort of how we would sort of classify ourselves. Anyway, it's hard to put a label on yourself. But I think we sort of like the idea of being alternative rock, and we have groove and danceability to the music, and it's also sort of metal influence. So groove metal, alternative rock, that sort of stuff. It's not quite as heavy as Your Lamb of God, but it's got,
It's pretty heavy. Some of it's pretty heavy.
Some of it is heavy, yeah.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, I'm not saying it's not heavy, but it's not quite as heavy as some of them other groove metal bands,
Yeah, you have got some good groove. I mean, the drums can be pretty groovy, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's got a good groove in it. Yeah, that's cool, man. So, when did you get together? 2018?
Yeah, 2018. I think around April, actually. 2018 was our first gig.
Okay.
But we'd been writing for about 6 months before that. Just sort of, he was coming to university and we were just writing stuff. I had like lyrics and structure sort of written out, and we brought it together and just sort of played as a duo, getting all the structures down, getting everything tight and making sure that it was good. And then we sort of, once we had the idea and the sort of concept of the band down, then we looked out elsewhere for another musicians to fill the role as bassist,
Ah, right, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, it's been a great few years, to be fair, apart from COVID. But it's been having a good time. I mean, recording with Justin's probably our biggest highlight so far, because he was just fantastic to work with, and he helped me as a singer and as a guitarist just come up leaps and bounds, And it would be half the thing it is now without Justin.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up a bit later, actually, but now you brought it up. You recorded your new album. Is it? It's not your only album, is it?
Yeah, well, we were actually released an EP which has all the tracks. The EP tracks are all on the album as well, but the album is the debut album, yeah.
Right, okay.
As an album, yeah.
So and that's called Radical Animals.
Yeah.
So it was mixed, produced, and mastered by Justin.
Yeah, all of it, the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, he's. I mean, I've got some history with Justin, so I know him from 10 years ago, I guess. And he actually did a song for me.
Oh wow.
And if you look on his website, it's actually on his website. It's the Whiskey Jack song, No Stopping.
Ah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. He did a fucking fantastic job, mate. I tell you.
Oh,
I gave him a raw demo, and it came back as that song, as it is on his website. And I took it to V2, and V2 signed the band straight away.
Yeah, the man's a genius. The man is a genius. And just the speed that he works at as well, how fast his fingers move while he's doing it all. Like, because when we were in the studio recording it with him, like, it was lightning speed. You know, he's like, "Oh, nice one, just edit this quick bit here," and then he's just cut it out, and it's already ready in like 30 seconds. Like, how have you done that, mate? Crazy. The guy's a magician, I swear.
Yeah. I mean, did you know of him before when he was fronting Sixth?
Well, yeah. So at the time we recorded the album, our bassist at the time, Will, he was actually very much into Sixth and the whole gent scene and stuff. So I actually got into them through him.
Okay.
And then we were looking on sort of online to see sort of London-based producers that were good, and we had a bit of research, and we saw Justin, and obviously saw his CV, his hefty CV of all the bands that he's worked with that have had such great success, and the fact he's played Download all the many times that he has, and all the experience that comes with that, you know.
Yeah.
He's got to be the guy for the job, you know, and he's current as well. It's not like someone that we're just getting from the 90s or something. He's someone who is current and who's working now with loads of great bands in the industry. And so we just jumped on that opportunity, and he accepted the demos that we sent in, and then we just sort of spent a week with him, partially in London at a drum studio, and then we lived in Reading for like 5 days, just sorting it all out. But it was great, yeah, really great. And we had 2 sessions with him doing that same routine. And that got all 12 songs sorted. But it just went by like that because it was such a pleasure to work with him, and you know, the songs just came out so naturally. He just sort of helped that process of getting it all together, and any times where the track was a little bit lacking, he had ideas for it. You know, maybe we could throw another vocal line here, or we should stick a second guitar track, or double track that vocal line. You know, whatever. But he had it all. He just knew what it was from the get go. You know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Six. It's so hard to say that, and it's Six. They were such a huge band as well. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, they were massive, and So yeah, like you said, with his experience, I mean, the experience alone from Sixth would be fucking phenomenal, I guess.
Yeah, and obviously, all the production experience that he has with these bands, and then his performance experience and just writing experience and production with Sick, because obviously he was doing that, and that's where he learned it all.
He's. I mean, I was speaking to David a couple of weeks ago because for some reason, I had just had him stuck in my head, and I couldn't figure out why he was stuck in my head, and I was like, maybe there's a band going to come along, or maybe there's something going to come along in a few weeks that Justin's been working on, or maybe. But I gave a young band we interviewed some advice about using a producer, and I told them they had one song that would be perfect for Justin, you know. So the guy's a genius. He's just done another album by some friends of mine as well, by LeBrock, band called LeBrock.
No, I haven't heard of them.
It's like really 80s synth pop, if you like, with a fucking heavy guitar thrown over the top of it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I mean, Sean, what's his fucking second name? I can't remember his second name now. But he was in a band called the Good Knives. They were an American band. He's from Peterborough, and Michael's from Peterborough as well. But yeah, that's also something he's just done. And I think he's been working on it for a long time, and they've been doing like a song at a time, you know. Now the album's all been put together, and the album's just been released. Yeah, it's really Don Johnson, if you like, from Miami Vice. Is a bit out there, you know.
That's cool though, man. That's cool.
So
I like the sound of that, man. I'll have to check it out.
Check it out. I think it's all on his website, to be honest, on Justin's website, like singles or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I'll check that out, man.
Oh, were you in any other bands? Oh, sorry, mate. Were you in any other bands before them bloody kids?
Yeah, I had a few bands. Yeah, back in the day when I was in Scarborough, just before I moved down to London, I had a band called Sheepskin.
Okay.
And it was a great band, a great experience. I learned a lot from it, but I think that the the set list that we had of all the tracks that we had, the back catalogue was very varied. You know, we had like a blues track, a reggae track, a metal track. You know, it was like stuff that when you played it back to back, and then we had like acoustic tracks with harmonies and stuff like that. So it was just like the most out there different songs. So, you know, you'd have the things where you play a song and all these people would be going mental, and then they'd go all go out for a ciggy for the next track, and then you'd have the people whose favourite song it was next, and they're a completely different crowd.
Oh.
So I mean, that was great, but it also meant that we never had like a packed out night because everyone was just going, you know, staying for their one song that they liked, which was, you know, I mean, I think it was a good experience, and I really enjoyed it, and I loved being in the band with the lads. But we all called it a day, I think, because we all wanted to move. We went to uni, and we wanted to sort of develop ourselves musically as well in whatever that was. You know, some of us went to go do video game music making, all that sort of stuff, and then I studied songwriting. So it was just sort of like we went our separate ways, but it was a great experience. I really enjoyed being in that band. Yeah.
So it sounds like you're all into different genres, and then.
Well, actually, I was just writing most of the stuff, like in terms of the like the words and the harmony of the song, I guess the most of it, rather than the drums and the bass. I was writing that, so and one other person was writing that. So I think that realistically, I was just a bit all over the place in myself. So I think that's why the songs came out like that. It wasn't necessarily everyone writing a different genre. I think I was just a bit all over the place musically at the time. But I found that sort of avenue with Them Bloody Kids where I'm happy with what we're writing.
Is that perhaps because you have so many inspirations, maybe, and you know, have got a massive broad spectrum of what music you listen to anyway?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I was lucky because my parents listened to a lot of different music. You know, my dad was into his sort of like orchestral moves in the dark and Kraftwerk and all that electronic stuff. You know, early like sort of EDM at its roots, where it started. And then my mum was into sort of like Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan and Elvis, and then the Beatles and obviously Led Zeppelin and Queen. So you know, there was a lot of different things going on there. And I think that obviously then had an influence over me. And I actually sung in choirs and stuff when I was a kid. So when I was a child, I was very, very eclectic. So I think that I just appreciated music in all its forms. But whereas now I've kind of just got down a little bit into where I like to be, you know, what sort of music I like and what I don't like, just, you know.
Yeah. So you just found your groove, really.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I can enjoy all music, but I have to be in the right mood for it, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who are your influences then? I mean,
well, I think the main one for, at least for Them Bloody Kids, is System of a Down and Scars on Broadway, obviously the offshoot. But I think fantastic, the songwriting, just the style of the music, the sort of that world music influence that they have. Like, it's just that would be the main influence. And that was the reason why me and Darren actually came together as a band, was through our love of System of a Down. But I'd also say that bands like Black Sabbath. Actually, to be honest, any of them on here really. Black Sabbath, Alter Bridge, Avatar, Opeth, Muse. I love them all, man. They're like a lot of these classic bands. They inspired us, and I know that Darren has a lot of inspirations in stuff like Led Zeppelin and Red Hot Chili Peppers and System of a Down as well. So he has that more sort of crazy side to him, which is shown through the drums in Them Bloody Kids album. Anyway.
I was going to say, are you sure it's not just for your love of chop suey, but?
Yeah.
But yeah, me and my fucking silly jokes. So your songs then, where do you pull your inspiration from for your lyrics? As I've been listening to them, and some of them are quite political.
Yeah, I guess I'm just sort of a bit of a crazy person, man. So I just sit there and scribble my like sort of irrational notes on a page and then put it into a song. I think most of it is more sort of what I'm feeling in the moment when I'm writing the song, you know. So not like a lot of it is political, vaguely. I try to keep it as vague as possible because I don't want to just sort of have like I don't want to put something out there and then people massively disagree with it, you know. Like I want to have something that people of all sides can look at it and go, yeah, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
I can use this song because I'm pissed off. It doesn't matter what I'm pissed off about, you know. Like I'm pissed off at the system generally for whatever that is in the system that's wrong at the minute, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so things are political. I think generally the society at the moment is struggling. We're at a weird place, especially in London, man. Like I'm moved down from up north and everyone's very friendly, and you come down here and everyone's pretty cold. So it's like society's at this weird place, especially in London, where I just felt like, okay, I don't feel very happy. I need to get it into the songs, you know. And so it just sort of my expression over the first couple of years of moving down into a new city with only really one main friend that I moved down with. So that sort of encapsulates that feeling. That album has that.
Okay. Well, where did Demon come from? I mean, if you're talking about not pissing people off,
I guess that is more sort of about the demon within yourself, you know, like the dealing with like mental health issues and like the darker thoughts that you can have, and like trying to deal with that however you are going to deal with that, you know. But it's that's the idea of it. Obviously it was an ode to sort of classic heavy metal tracks. But the message of it is sort of like, you know, everyone has that demon inside them they're fighting.
Yeah, I got that through the song, but then at the end, the text lyrics came up about the gun crime in America, and then it just threw me a little bit. I was thinking, yeah, I get the message here, but then when the gun message came up,
that's Freedom of Peace. Yeah, Freedom of Peace. That one's all about. That's
Freedom of Peace. I thought it was Demon.
No, the Demon. We haven't got the video out yet for that. We're waiting on the video to come back for that. We've had a little bit of trouble with the video, but that one will be coming out soon, and it's going to be a cracker as well. I lopped all my hair off for that video, so but yeah, the Freedom of Peace video, yeah, that was sort of about the idea of people. I mean, yeah, that is very political, but I think that most people outside of America can believe that guns are wrong. Guns kill people. Guns aren't a thing that needs to be in society. So I don't think that's like a far out political view that people disagree with. I think that unless you have like guns yourself, you think that guns are wrong generally. Like, it's especially to have open in society and people to be able to carry them around, and, you know, like those things are silly. And I think everyone can agree with that, especially in the UK, man. I think, you know, we have such low gun crime here. We don't really, you know, knife crime's a problem here. But I think that it was just kind of, at the time, there was just a lot of school shootings happening, and it annoyed me that people were still so adamant that guns were the right way. And I was just like, how can you not see that? You're so like, there's like a cognitive dissonance within these American people that they think that, like, yeah, I understand that guns are the problem, but we need guns to protect ourselves from this problem. But if you stop it, there wouldn't be a problem. So yeah, that's what that song was about. And I think that, yes, although it's very political, I think it's not too much of an out there political thought, you know, that people would disagree with.
Yeah. I mean, I got it like, the guy was pissed off, and he was going to go and shoot at the job centre or wherever it was. It looked like the job centre was the job centre.
It was just our university.
Oh right, yeah, but it was like him being fucked off, couldn't get a job, couldn't get a life, you know, nip round the job centre, fucking shoot the job centre up, and then the American thing came up at the end. But yeah, I mean, they got some fucking weird views on guns. Well, some people have got some weird views on guns over there, you know.
I know, man.
And like you said, they all feel like they need one to protect themselves. But if there wasn't any fucking guns, they wouldn't need to protect themselves, would they?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
You know?
Trump on it. Trump said, give all the school teachers a gun. So they
Yeah.
How is that going to help the situation? We're just going to have warfare in schools.
Bonkers, isn't it? Absolute crazy.
Yeah.
Absolute crazy. You know, it's completely unrelated. Well, I guess. But I watched Young Guns 2 last night. And it was right at the end where they were talking, or right at the beginning and the end where they're talking to the guy that allegedly said he was Billy the Kid. And obviously, in his early life, it was crazy, and they're running around on horses shooting everything. But then when he came out, it was 1950, and you think of America being quite civilized by 1950, don't you? But within his lifespan, you know, the guns are still there as well, innit? I mean, so it's still the Wild West, but they wear suits now, don't they, rather than holsters.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, you know, like 100 years ago, it was just a crazy place where there was hardly any law, and So yeah, I mean, but I think that there is a lot of people in America who do disagree with guns, but I think that they're being silenced, you know. And I think that anyone that's going out there and putting it out there that guns are bad, you know, the
machine.
Well, for want of a better words, the machine putting it down. You know, I think that because they make a lot of money, it's what's it, I can't remember what the word for the thing is, the gun association.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
they literally have such a big hold on the politics over there. You know, on the political regime. You know, they fund and lobby a lot of the political parties, especially the Republicans. You know, and it's well, it's just we're not going to see it. We're not going to see any going anywhere, I don't think, because it just makes too much money for them. And the fact that at the end of that video that shocked me the most and what we put on there was that there's something like there's like 3 guns for every American in the country. So how many guns there are? It's like, how do you need that many guns? How could you possibly have so many guns that you have 3 for every person? That's women and children included. Like, you don't need that many guns. It's insane.
Well, it's something like 1 gun fucking for every person on the planet or something in America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, outrageous, man.
But but that's also the same. They've got the same problem with Big Pharma, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, we've had this conversation before, and they advertise drugs, medicines on the television in America, and it's only 1 or 2 countries in the world that do actually advertise drugs on the television.
I mean, the pharmaceutical industry in America is very messed up. I mean, my dad's a doctor, so actually I have quite a lot of, like, I talk to him a lot about the sort of medical system, especially in the UK, and I just know that it's for profit over there, you know?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
They give you drugs, also the diet that they have, and the small regulations they have on food over there means that people have ill health, and then they need all these other medicines that they then have to pay for.
Yeah.
But they're paying for the pleasure of then having to buy medicine in the future.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. It's a vicious cycle as well, because people need to understand that there's a healthier way of doing it, but in America it's not cheaper to do it that way.
No, it's all ass backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to McDonald's, have your fucking 10 burgers, and then you pop into Walmart's and buy your insulin because you've got fucking diabetes from it.
Yeah, literally,
you know? You just buy it over the counter, like.
Yeah, I think that they need to. I mean, obesity is a problem anyway within sort of our country here as well, you know. But over there in America, man, it's like it's an endemic in itself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, like people's diets are really important. I know I'm pretty chunky myself, but like people's diets are important, man. Like getting diabetes, all this heart disease, you know, all these things are just caused from us not eating healthily. And I think that in America, they're told even less about it. You know, we get a lot here, how it's important to eat a balanced diet and all that sort of stuff, but they don't get that a lot over there.
Yeah.
You know? And whenever it is talked about, it's sort of like shunned.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, man. It's a weird one, man. But let's hope that we can sort it out, eh?
Yeah. Well, I went on holiday. It was like we did like the Florida thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been there, mate. I've been there, yeah.
And we started cook the first night. We decided, we'll go to Walmart and we'll cook breakfast, and we knocked that on the head pretty quickly because you had a Sizzlers around the corner, and for $3 you can have all you can eat. Yeah. And the amount of food that they serve up for breakfast, and they have like blueberry muffins, ice cream, jelly. It's like desserts as well. Yeah. You have like a 6-course meal for your breakfast.
Yeah, that was the sizes, the pure sizes of the portions. That was what amazed me. I mean, like, you know, you just wouldn't even get that in the biggest sort of carvery that you could find in the UK. You know, you can't just like that. It's just insane. Yeah. And like I remember being so I was very young. I was like 12 or something like that when I went to America. But I remember I went to Disneyland, and the bowls for cereal were huge.
Yeah,
I was just there like a 12-year-old with a bowl the size of my head of cereal, like. This can't be healthy, you know, like what? Crazy. Yeah. I mean, I didn't care at the time.
And everything's refillable, isn't it? So it's like,
crazy,
have this like super sugary drink and drink it all day as much as you want.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For a pound.
It's crazy.
It is, man.
I'll eat me Lucky Charms. So all right, and I'll go off. Oh, we've already gone off fucking topic. Really. We're gonna go off topic now. Seems as your dad's a doctor then. I mean, how have you been coping in the pandemic?
Well, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was here in London, and my dad basically called me and was like, the most serious I've ever heard him on the phone, like, get out of London, like, you need to get out of there right now before this shit goes down. You will get locked in London, you won't be able to leave, and it's going to be like this for fucking years. He was the whole, you know, he had the whole worst case scenario in his head, which actually panned out. So at the time I was like, what a loony, man, like chill out, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, Dad, you know, I've got a tour that I've got to go on. And then the tour, so we did the start of the tour and we cancelled the last day, and we were like, okay, we have to just call this off now. It's getting crazy. We didn't really believe it. You know, everyone had that sort of denial at the start, like, you know, oh, you know, it's just going to be a swine flu situation or something like that, you know. But everyone was ignorant to it because no one really saw it coming. You can't see society changing of this much, you know. It's just not something you can imagine. So we were just like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then it all went tits up, and then I just sort of got in the car with my girlfriend and just fled up the country to my parents' house and just basically locked up and stayed there for 3 months with like as much food deliveries as we could get, just to stay away from the general population. It was like it was a zombie apocalypse, really. We just sort of ran away. But yeah, then it all sort of, you know, 3 months passed, and it was like, well, what's going on? Well, we kept putting stuff off with the band, and we just was just like, we need to get stuff out. You know, we had these songs recorded, ready to get released, but we just sort of thought it's better to plow ahead. So I mean, my dad was just sort of telling me like all this stuff to keep me paranoid about the pandemic. But to be honest, I think the best way to deal with it was just to stay calm about the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, they don't know what the fuck is going on, do they? You know, there's so many different types of illnesses that come with it. There's so many symptoms. People are not getting symptoms. You know, it's fucked up. So
yeah, and it's so hard to control as well, man. Because I mean, it's easy to say, you know, shut the borders or whatever, but you shut the borders and then we don't get stuff coming into the country that we need. You know, shelves start to empty out. It's like I mean, I don't have any sympathy for this government at all, not one drop of sympathy. But I do understand it was a hard job, you know, and I don't think that anyone really would have been able to do it the right way on first try. Especially in a country like Britain, where we do rely so much on travel and people coming in and out. So it was going to be hard to do, but I think that they've done now what they're doing with the vaccine. Great job, fair play, but I think that's all on the NHS, and so we've got to give the NHS a massive hand in that. And I think the NHS have done incredibly well, and all the key workers that have worked throughout treating people, being on the front line of this, essentially this war that we've been fighting, you know, that's massive props to them. So I think that the government, you know, they didn't do great, but I think everyone who's working within medicine, anyone who's working, doing deliveries even, and the posties and all these sorts of people that are keeping the world going over that year, massive props to them. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Because I think I probably know our Amazon delivery driver on first name terms now.
yeah. Same mate.
The amount of deliveries we got, Christmas was basically funded by Amazon, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was the same. I didn't want to go out, so I've been sort of like, my missus keeps saying that she's cannon fodder, so if there's anything that happens, I send my wife out with a mask. We've got to sort it out, and it's been a bit of a funny one, haven't it? A really, really strange one.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. And it's also weird because I'm asthmatic, and my girlfriend's got a heart condition. So at the time, when it first came out, it was a very, like, you know, they were the at-risk groups that you really needed to stay inside. So we were just, because my dad knew that he obviously was even more paranoid, and he's got asthma. And my mum's also got some other ailments. And so it was just, we were all sort of these weaklings within society that needed to be sheltered. And so they were like, right, you need to get your ass up in now before you die off. So, but yeah, glad we did it. But I think everyone down here said that it was very chill. I think that, you know, that people just sort of stopped, but they were just at home chilling and watching TV. I think it was a long deserved break for a lot of people. I think a lot of people were very stressed out. And so I think the first month was really welcomed break by a lot of people. But I think that after that, it started to drain. And when people don't know what to do after they've been sat in the same four walls for like a month and a half, you know, it starts to get drain on you. And now I think that that's had a massive effect on society. And so generally people are a lot more depressed now because they haven't had the time or the freedom that they wanted to be able to do the things they want to do and keep themselves happy.
Well, it's, like you said, it's a difficult situation, you know. And I don't know how you stand on the vaccination. Are you anti-vax? Are you pro-vax?
I've had my vaccination. I think that is the positive thing to do. I think that we should get it all done. If we can do it, then it means we can get out gigging, we can get out doing things again. And I just think it's important. I think that it's important. We've done all this, and it won't be worth it if people don't just get this done. You know, otherwise we're going to be dealing with this consistently, and a lot of more people are going to die. I think that if you look at the history of vaccinations, look, polio. We don't have people with polio here in this country anymore. You know, like. There's probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who could have had polio if we hadn't have done the vaccine. So it's like, you know, we've had 120, 130, however many thousands of people die in this country because of this or through complications with this virus, I think it's only fair to say, well, look, you know, that we've had 30 million, 35 million people vaccinated now, and virtually no one's died from it, if anyone has died from it. So it's much more safe to do that than to let 150,000 more people die from COVID. That's
Yeah, it's a strange one, because you've got all these people saying, I don't want a vaccine passport, but if you're going to go on holiday on safari to fucking Kenya or somewhere,
anyway,
you've got to have vaccinations.
Yeah. I went to Russia, I had to have vaccinations. When I went to Egypt, I had to have vaccinations. When I went to America, I had to have vaccinations. And to be honest, when you go to school, when you first come to school, you have to show them your vaccination passport saying that you've had your vaccines.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know, it's not like it's a new thing. People
No,
think
I know, but people are fucking narrow-minded, aren't they?
Yeah, they're thinking that they're trying to control us. Oh my God, you're going to have to get this injection. Man, it's just to save everyone else, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily even us guys who's saving. It's like the 70, 80, 90-year-old people, you know, our grandparents, and those are the really vulnerable people that are dying off, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people know a lot of older people that have died, which is really sad. And those lives were cut short because we didn't have a vaccine early enough.
Yeah, well, I don't like the term vaccine. That's the only trouble. That's the only bugbear I've got about it, is calling it a vaccine, because it's not actually a vaccine, is it? It doesn't stop you from catching it. And it doesn't stop you from spreading it, but it stops you have less chance of catching the virus, less chance of catching it, and then when you do catch it, you are much less likely to go to hospital, and therefore NHS can continue, and life can continue, and we can slowly evolve with this virus. Yeah. No, I understand it. I mean, I liken it to the fucking bubonic plague.
Yeah.
You know, all them years ago, they had the bubonic. They just didn't have a vaccine for it, so.
Yeah.
And that's why so many people died. I mean, I actually caught COVID, and I was really, really fucking ill from it.
Yeah, same.
As David knows. Oh, did you catch it as well?
Yeah, I did right at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, well, I caught it recently, and about 3 months ago now, and I was so fucking sick. But then I had my vaccination a couple of weeks ago, and it made me so sick again for like 3 days, you know. So there's something in that virus that just doesn't agree with me, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to catch it again, that's for fucking sure.
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, this is the thing. I think that it does. I think it's something like when you've had both your vaccines, you're 96% clear from the vaccine, from the virus, from catching it from other people. So it does help to an extent for you not catching it.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but it still helps you a lot. So taking the vaccine, although there is side effects, because I've had side effects, my girlfriend had side effects. Actually, a lot of people have had side effects from the virus, nausea and headaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm still going through it.
The classic stuff. Yeah, I've got mine on Saturday, my second one. So it's just sort of it makes you feel ill, but I think in comparison to how I felt when I had COVID, I was like very nearly hospitalised, like really struggling with my lungs because I've
me too.
You see. And so the vaccine symptoms were not even comparable for me, at least.
Mine were coming back, and I was shitting myself. I text David, and I was like, I think I fucking caught it again.
God,
I'm fucking gonna die.
That's bad. That but yeah, I mean, I know that as well. Like, if you've had it, getting the vaccine can sometimes be worse. If you've already had it, you know.
Well, we only need, because I'm in Holland, so
yeah.
We only need one. If you've caught it, you only need one vaccination.
Oh, right, okay.
After, because they say if you have 2 vaccinations, it can make you really ill. But that one vaccination made me fucking sick. So I was panicking a bit, because I thought, oh my God, I caught it again, you know. And like we said, I was really ill with it as well, and I was almost hospitalised. I had a 40-degree fever for fucking 4 days.
God.
And I had a 38.6 degree fever for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know. And then in the 4th week or 3rd week, at the end of the 3rd week, it went up to 40 degrees for a few days. I was fucked.
Yeah, no, it really, really knocks everyone for 6, man. It's a crazy one.
And so then I see all these anti-vaxxers and fucking these protesters, you know, like you have these big marches in London, and they're taking away our freedom, and they, you know, about these, like you said, about these COVID passports and stuff. They're off their fucking heads.
Yeah, they are, mate. They are. I don't think these guys truly understand what freedom is, because
no,
you know, like fucking hell, man. It's not like if these guys really didn't know what freedom was, then they would really have something to scream about, you know, because like right now we're very fortunate to be living in Britain and to have the medical care that we do have. I wouldn't want to be in India right now, let's just put it that way. Those guys are really struggling, and I don't think that there's many people who are anti-vaccine there, because they've seen the horrors of it. You know, people lining the streets dying. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's horrific. It's
Yeah.
horrific. So I think that we're very lucky. We have freedom here. We have the freedom to be able to choose. We have the space to be able to be able to actually socially distance, you know, and to be able to do all these things and have these, try and make it safer for everyone else. So I think I really disagree with these anti-vaxxers. I think it's a very foolish stance to have.
Yeah, it is, and like you said, I mean, we've had fucking vaccine passports
Yeah.
since fucking 1950 or something, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing new.
No, they're fucking idiots. So we're going to go back to your, well, not to your album, but to your songs a minute, and go back to your dad again.
Yeah.
You've got a song called Molly. And I couldn't make out if it was an anti-drug song or a pro-drug song.
It's a concept. It's a concept song. So it's not. It's the way I open it on a gig is that it's my love-hate relationship song about MDMA. So you love it, you hate it, you have some great times, but there's also the fucking dark times that come after it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm hesitant to say I'm an advocate for it.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, don't quote me on this, but I think everyone should try it once, you know. But that's my sort of take on it. But don't let it lead you down a dark hole.
Yeah.
You know, because it's easy to do that with any sort of substance, whether it be alcohol or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But that's sort of it, you know.
Yeah. Well, they use it for medication now, don't they, MDMA?
Yeah, it's great for actually like antidepressants and people.
Well, they're using ketamine, aren't they, for antidepressants or something?
They are now, yeah, and they're also trialing truffles and magic mushrooms and acid and DMT treatments.
Yeah. They've been doing mushrooms for a while, and psilocybin.
Yeah. These things are all actually now proving that they are, like, for example, very recently we've had big science come out talking about magic mushrooms and how it repairs the neurons in your brain that have been damaged through depression. So, you know, these are all massively positive things, and I think that as a country we need to be researching them loads, because we could be the front runners of using this sort of thing to help make our population just generally happier and less depressed, you know. I think that's a pandemic in itself, you know. Because 9 to 5 around here and the low light levels we get in this country, we hardly have a sunny day, so everyone's just pissed off, man, all the time. And so it's you know, these things can actually help people just sort of relax when they have time to relax and not be, you know, so stressed all the time. It can be an outlet, you know, for all that stress.
Yeah, well, we watch a program over here called Police Interceptors, which is about the fucking police, the police force basically in the UK.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, I don't smoke myself, but I'm always laughing about when they pulled somebody over and they've got like a couple of grams of fucking cannabis in a car.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you naughty boy, you're gonna get a telling off, you know. I mean, the drug laws over here are quite. I mean, well, it's a funny one, really. The marijuana laws over here.
Yeah, I know. It's
because a coffee shop is allowed to sell it.
Yeah.
But it's not allowed to buy it.
Right.
Okay.
So
right then.
I heard from somebody once that they have a window on a Friday between, say, 1 and 3 in the afternoon, for example, where they're allowed to bring it in. They're only allowed to carry so much, which I think is legally it's about 500 grams, but 500 grams go in a fucking hour, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But they have a window where they can bring it into the shop, get it all ready for sale, and then sell it, you know, over the week.
Yeah.
But apparently it's only 500 grams legally, but obviously they got fucking shitloads more than that.
Definitely.
You know, because they're selling it in fucking grams and grams and grams.
Yeah.
But so it's a funny law. It's just a bit messy because they tried to stop the tourists from going and buying it a few years ago.
Yeah, I read about that. Yeah.
It was only for like Dutch citizens, or if you had a Dutch citizen pass, you know. But I don't know how that worked in Amsterdam and stuff, because I mean Amsterdam is based on tourism, so.
I was going to say, did it affect tourism, did it?
Yeah, you know. So
the tourists stopped coming, they'll open it back up again.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I somewhere I've really wanted to go. It's somewhere that, you know, like all the lads have always said, oh yeah, let's go to Amsterdam, you know. I went with my parents when I was a kid, but never as an adult. So I haven't actually managed to check out any coffee shops or do the whole Amsterdam experience, but it's something I'm hoping to do next year. If and when COVID's over, you know.
Well, as long as you do, you know, you can get out on tour and you know.
Yeah,
so,
that's the idea.
I wonder what the the song was about. I mean, obviously I knew it was about Molly, but I was like, is he pro Molly? Is he against
My
Molly?
mum still asks me. She asks me really passive aggressively, like, "So who's Molly then?" I'm like, well, don't make me answer.
It's Madonna's mate.
Yeah, literally. Oh god.
Yeah, it's funny. All right, now I think we covered your album. So, well, we haven't really covered your album, to be honest. We've been talking about all other shit, but we've gone through where you come from and we've gone through where you're going, I suppose. I mean, have you got any tours lined up?
Yeah, well, we've got a few mini tours, sort of like little dates of clusters of dates. We've got some around Devon, Exeter, Bridgewater, beginning of September, around the 10th, I think. And then we've got a couple of dates, Scunthorpe, Scarborough, potentially Hull or York, on around Halloween. So that late October sort of time. We've got Headlands coming up later this month on the 27th of August, and that's in Scarborough, Headlands Festival. We're playing on the Friday night, so make sure you guys get down for that. Yeah, with that, at the minute, like I said, we're just struggling to get some shows because promoters are being a bit dodgy. You know, no one really wants to put anything set in stone at the minute with COVID being as iffy as it is. So, yeah, we're just trying to set up stuff with bands, but as we've started touring, we just did this weekend, we just did a date in Camden and then a date in Nottingham. And through that, we met a bunch of bands and we're going to get some more shows lined up. It's just because, like I said, promoters just aren't willing to take the risks. I think bands are now turning into their own promoters and just getting gigs lined up and hiring venues because venues are wanting to do nights anyway. So venues are desperate, but promoters just don't want to take a risk. So
yeah. Well, David's thinking about going into promoting, so he sent me a message yesterday.
Get on it, we'll play for you guys for sure. If you guys want to
saying that,
well, it's a bit of a drive to South Wales, so
we'll be there. We've got a van. We'll be there.
We'll hold you to that now, Mike said.
Yeah, mate, we're there. We love it. We'll definitely
what David's idea is, so we're going to try. We've got a venue. Well, it's not local to me, obviously, because it's local to David. Yeah. Because I'm fucking in Holland. I've got a venue local to me. If you want to come over here, but I can't pay you.
We'll definitely.
I can't pay you to come.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're thinking about. Well, we're going to discuss it with the venue owner if we can do some sort of just Chopsing nights once a month, maybe.
Yeah, nice.
And then get bands on from the show. So.
Yeah, cool, man.
You're first, David.
Nice.
David's put the proposition to me, and I'm mulling it over, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a plan. I think you guys should get on it. We'll definitely be up for doing something like that.
Yeah, we can't pay you. We can give you a bag of Watsits and a bar.
Kit Kat and a tea bag.
Oh yeah, Kit Kat and tea bag. That's fine.
Kit Kat and a tea bag. Well, it's better than some of the gigs we've been paid for anyway.
So it seems that you're quite polite. Have you got anything, Dave?
No, I was just going to go over the gigs as well, because obviously the Headlands Festival, you said that's up in Scarborough. How big is that? Is it a fairly big festival, is it?
Yeah, so it's a local festival that celebrates sort of all the local artists and whether that, you know, they have local beer there and all that sort of stuff. And it's set up by Jim, who's one of my friends from back in the day. It's a medium-sized festival, yeah. Like it's sort of a family festival, but also there's all sorts of other stuff. There's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of dancing, there's a lot of good times, and some great music's going to be played there all throughout the weekend. So, cool. Yeah, it's a great weekend out. I've been for a couple of them now, and they're all fantastic. And the decoration is second to none. It's like going to like a mini boomtown. There's like all sorts of crazy psychedelic stuff going on, and the decoration of it is amazing. It's all done by a few local artists. So really, really, really exciting. And we're excited to go back there because it improves every year. So. Yeah. Make sure you guys can get down to that one. If you can't this year, get down next year because it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool. So is that indoor or outdoor?
It's outdoor, yeah, but they have big tents, so big marquees outside for people to where there's the bar, and then there's like, I think they've got 4 stages now or 3 stages now, but they have like a dub stage and then like a live like a rock stage and acoustic stage, all that sort of stuff.
Sounds pretty big.
Yeah, it's not bad for a little town like Scarborough, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sounds good. What I could do is I'll send a message out to my sister because she lives up there and get it to check it out for us this year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not far from Driffield.
Yeah, and then perhaps I'll have to go up camping.
Definitely. Oh yeah, they're the full field of campers there, so get there.
Okay.
What state your sister's, Dave?
I don't want to be doing that.
A long drive back on the piss.
It's just such a long drive, man, isn't it? It's miles away.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
If I go up there for I've only been up to see her twice, so I don't know if she watches these or not. But if I go up there for a festival, she'd kick the shit out of me because I've only been up to see her twice in 20 years. Bless her.
All right then, mate. So I always try and get a story in, Seb, at the end of the show.
Cool.
And since some of your songs are quite political, I thought I'd do a bit of a political story.
Okay.
And in America, there's this union called the Local 150. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it.
Nope.
But what they do, they use inflatable animals as symbols of a labour dispute, so exploitation of workers within a building industry or something like that, you know. And what they do is if a company is breaking the rules, they go along and they stick this massive inflatable cat or dog or elephant or whatever outside the company building, and then they get the protesters in and to protest about it.
Okay.
But the mostly used inflatable they've got is a giant rat called Scabby, and this fucking massive rat, I mean, everybody eats it. I mean, because they rock up with this massive rat and they put it outside your building, and then people get scared of it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been stabbed, it's been attacked, it's been run over by a car and everything because people are like, well, we don't want this fucking rat outside the building because it chases customers away, and you know, well, that's the idea of a union anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So the Supreme Court, the people were trying to get it banned. They were saying, right, you're not allowed to bring this fucking rat outside my building, and I'm going to take you to court. And so the Supreme Court in 2020 ruled that these inflatables can be used and are also been awarded free speech. So you've got a giant inflatable rat called Scabby that's got the rights of free speech. And the ruling in the court was, in the High Court, it's actually in the Supreme Court in America, said, well, if we can allow cross burning and anti-homosexual signs can be displayed at military funerals, then why can't we give a fucking inflatable rat free speech? And so they awarded him free speech.
Fair play. Fair play. I mean, the reasoning is sound. Don't argue with that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool, man.
fucking mental, isn't he?
That's cool that they do that, though. I didn't know that. That's I like that. I like that. Bringing a big rat outside a building where it's just like treating the workers like shit. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's a good
It's a
concept.
statement, man. It's a statement, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, don't come here, man. There's a big rat outside because there's big rats inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, the rat will start shouting at you.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's got free speech rights now.
It is.
Was there a list of any companies that had the rat outside?
Yeah, well, there was one on there actually at the moment, but because they were trying to get this fucking rat, because there's a dispute going on with a big building firm. I can't remember the name of it, but what it is, it's using another building firm.
Okay.
And it's exploiting the workers through using this other building. So instead of going to the main building firm, they've gone to the other building firm to do the exploitation. So they're like, well, we don't want this fucking outside our building. You know, it should be over there in the other building.
Fuck's sake.
And that's how I found the story. So, but yeah, it's a bit
Cool,
crazy.
though, man. Cool story, man.
Crazy one. All right, then, mate. Well, we'll let you go, and good luck with your album.
Thank you, guys. Have a lovely night, and thank you guys for having us on the show.
That's great, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving me your time. Or time, I should say, not just me. I'm not on my own. Yeah. And next time if you want to come back on again, just drop me a line. And
awesome.
Yeah,
definitely.
As long as you've enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I have. It's been a great conversation. Thanks, guys.
That's cool.
I suppose people that isn't just my flatmates, you know.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, Seb.
Cheers.
Yeah, I organise a show, Seb. I'll give you a shout, man. All right.
Yeah, cheers. Nice one, man. Awesome. Take it easy, guys.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye. There you go. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Then Bloody Kids.
Yeah.
New album out now.
So had you heard of the band, or was it because you had heard of Justin? Is that which came first? The band or Justin?
Well, Justin, I've known Justin for fucking 10, 11 years.
It was kind of like following him that you heard of the band, was it?
No, I'll tell you what it is off air.
Oh, okay.
No, I've come across the band. I come across them on the internet, on Instagram or something like that. So when I checked out the music, and it's quite heavy in some places. I mean, that gun crime song was the video was quite powerful, quite a powerful message.
Mm.
I can't remember what he said it was called. I was sure it was called The Demon, but he said it's not called The Demon.
No, it's not.
That's the song that's not out yet.
Yeah, because some of it did remind me of James's work as well, because James's is quite political.
Yeah.
Obviously they're a bit quite a bit heavier than James, but even some of James's new tracks were quite heavy on his album. So that's kind of like I quite liked it actually. I've been giving it a good listen, and it's really good stuff. I like it. What,
from Them Bloody Kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. I quite like it as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
All right, then, mate. So you've had my story. It's quite good now that we're including the guests in the stories. I think so. If they can either fuck off if they don't want to listen to it, but I don't mean fuck off literally. I mean go. Leave the show. Now I'm trying to incorporate the story with the guest. So, like Seb's, some of his music is quite political. So I thought, I'll find an American political story because I realised that gun crime one quite effective in. And on the next show I've got with Scarlet Rebels, I've got another story, and that's actually from Wales. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those guys because. For meeting them, because I am going to see them. I haven't seen them before, so it'll be nice.
Oh, right, okay.
Be nice to get chatting with them, and then go and catch one of the shows later this summer.
Yeah. Has my little gift package reached you yet?
Yes, I haven't opened it up yet.
Oh, go and open it. Open it now.
You want me to open it on air, do you?
Yeah, that'd be fucking cool. I didn't think you'd had it yet because I didn't have a message.
Yeah, it arrived.
Oh, I'm excited. I hope it hasn't got the bill in it, because then you'll know how much I paid for it, because it's a present for David.
All right.
So,
right, here we go.
Here we go, the unboxing of my gift for David. Oh, I can't wait to see your face. Get them little cheeks smiling. Seems as you felt so rough on Sunday because you had a hangover all day.
I did have a hangover, yeah.
I'm excited now. I'm really excited to see what this is going to come out like. You better be excited as well.
Here we go. The dog's excited. Right, what we got there? Oh, look at this.
This is a gift packet that I sent my cousin, and we're opening it live on air. A new hat.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it okay? I didn't know how big the thing would come out.
Yeah, it's cool, thanks. Yeah?
Okay. I know you like your hats.
Yeah, I love my caps. Look at the dog. The dog's up on my lap, trying to have a look.
Yeah. What's that like? Turn it around to yourself, because I can see it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah.
I got you a large, so I wasn't sure if you'd lost any weight or not.
No, I haven't, no.
Do you think it'll fit you?
Yeah,
you can try it on, actually. You can try it on.
Hang on then.
You can get out of the camera. I don't want to see your nipples. This is a family show. Well, it's not really, but it's under explicit on Spotify.
Family show.
Let's see if it fits.
Oh, perfect.
Is it?
Like a glove.
Oh, you put it on over the top of the other one, huh? Oh, it don't fucking fit like a... Right, great.
Right. And then, it's up here as well now.
Something else that he can drink his tea out of.
Oh, game on. Look at that.
How's that?
That is awesome. Get it out now. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
That's all right. I wasn't sure how that will come out, actually. I couldn't make the thing any bigger on it.
I think they're all standard sizes. And I got quite a small head.
No, I mean the logo.
Not for the logo.
I wasn't sure how big the logo would be because
it's cool.
It's a bit pushed in it. Probably because it just come out of the box.
Yeah. What I'll do, I'll put it on Sarah's head because she got a massive melon. She can push it all out for me. That's awesome, eh?
Yeah, and you can drink your fucking tea out of that now, and it'll remind you that you're on Just Chopsing podcast every morning.
That's it. Well, I am going sober now after the weekend.
Yeah, righto.
Because that was so embarrassing. It was so funny. It was a good night. You know, obviously we'll give Nick a bit of a shout out again, and Paul,
Yeah.
who knows Diddley, because he got me up on stage and gave our podcast a shout out, which was lovely of him. So that was really cool.
How many people were there, Dave?
I'd say there's probably about 50, maybe 50, 60 people up there.
Okay, cool.
For the both days.
Yeah.
Not everybody was going in, because I think because people hadn't been out for a long time, I think there was a lot of mates catching up with each other as well. So there was lots of people in little huddles in the bar.
Okay.
And then there was probably maybe 30 people watching the bands, I guess. But yeah, it was great. It was really good to be back up there. He's done a good job on it, Nick. He's tidied it up a little bit, and there's still bits and pieces that he's working on. But I was drinking our Thatcher's Gold, and it messed me up, man.
Good. Like I said to you, anything with Thatcher in it would make me sick too.
But I was sick. I haven't been sick for about 6 years, and I was poorly.
All right, cool.
So
All right.
Cool. I like your knees.
All right, cool. I'm glad you got your stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't get a message. I got a message that it got sent out Monday. They sent me a message, your package has been sent out.
Yeah.
But I haven't received a message saying it's been delivered. So
yeah, it came just while I was working, so I had a knock at the door, and I just put it on the side, so I didn't know if it was something for sale or something. So
well, there's fucking address for you.
I didn't look.
I think it's addressed to you. It might have my name on it.
Yes, addressed to me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So when Sarah comes, I don't know where she is. Is she out or?
Yeah, she's actually working.
Oh, okay.
So she's back in the office now.
Okay.
Right, this is her first week in the office, but she's nipped in to see the daughter.
All right.
Oh,
well, you can surprise her now when she comes home.
I know. I'm gonna have to take it off because I'm gonna have to cook food and then I'll put it back on then.
Yeah. All right.
Carry down it. Wicked.
All right.
Awesome.
Glad you got it. All right. I'm gonna say goodbye then.
Yeah.
All right. Try, mate.
Try.